It is 6:42. Welcome back to Great Day 4 this Tuesday. Each and every Tuesday about this time we get a visit from one of our favorite people of all time, Round the Car Guy. Stops by from Westside Auto Pros to help you maintain your vehicle. And we're saying vehicle here today because this could mean more than a car.
It could be a car, it could be a Volkswagen. They've got the TDI diesel. The Chevrolet Cruze has a diesel, or even pickups. A lot of the pickup trucks and stuff.
And that's where this question came from. This came from someone who had a diesel pickup truck. Said, when you're talking to Ron the Car Guy, could you have him address diesel fuel in colder temperatures?
And I was out of material, so I thought I'll address that.
That worked out well.
It did. It worked out real well. And that was the question. It was the question was, where can I buy #1 diesel fuel for my vehicle?
Now, why would they ask that question?
That's a great question. Just to clarify what #1 diesel is years back, we had two forms of diesel fuel. We still do. There was #1 diesel fuel and #2 diesel fuel. And the best way to explain them is compare them to Aunt Jemima syrup. #2 diesel fuel is Aunt Jemima. It's the thick syrup that pours out. #1 would be like Aunt Jemima light.
Okay.
It's a lot thinner and it runs more easily. So years back, we would switch and put #1 diesel in vehicles in the wintertime, so it didn't gel up, it didn't freeze up, because that's one of the characteristics of diesel fuel is it starts to cloud up actually around 20 degrees above zero, and as it gets colder, it'll thicken up and it will actually start to get so thick that in some instances it'll freeze and it won't flow.
So it doesn't flow.
Correct. So your vehicle doesn't run. So it used to be that in the wintertime you would either put #1 diesel in, or you'd put a half a tank of one and half a tank of #2. But that's all changed as diesel technology has changed, as well as the fuel technology has. And what they've gone to now is on or about the 1st of November, the retailers will start using winter blend of #2 diesel.
Okay.
And it's not a combination of the two. It's still #2 diesel, but they have pore depressants and additives and stuff in there to take the freeze protection of it down much lower than 20 degrees above Fahrenheit. And you'll even see, I saw a pump about a week ago that already had a sticker, a sign on it that said effective November 1st. Winter blend diesel is here, or something to that effect. So they've kind of got you covered to some extent like that.
Now, how cold does that protect you too?
Well, it's kind of like semi-synthetic oil. How much synthetic oil is blended in there? We don't really know. Certainly, we still see vehicles in the wintertime, especially when it gets cold. We have diesel vehicles that are towed in because they're gelled up, they're froze up, and some of those vehicles have been sitting since August, so they don't have winter blend. Others have winter blend, and you even see once in a while you'll see a semi-tractor sitting alongside the interstate when it's really cold.
Well, Ryan, I know how to fix that. I've seen these from years ago. You just plug your car in. You have the motor heater. Yeah.
Exactly. Plug the vehicle in.
That'll work, won't it?
No, that will not work.
Why not?
That heats up the antifreeze. That heats up the engine. It does not heat up the fuel system. And diesel fuel is most apt to gel up or to freeze up when the vehicle's sitting overnight, because the temperatures drop lower. It's not circulating. It's not moving through the system. It's just sitting there in the tank. So you'll see it actually freeze up. When Ford first came out with their popular 6-liter, the early models had a heater on the fuel line between the tank and the filter to heat it up before it actually went into the filter. And then as technology progressed, they decided that wasn't necessary, and they don't use the heater anymore. It might have been a cost savings. I thought it was a good idea, but it's not there anymore. So, my recommendation, the best thing that you can do is be proactive, take matters into your own hands, and put some kind of an additive in your diesel fuel if you have a diesel vehicle in the wintertime. And this is one of many that are on the market, but this is called Diesel 911.
Now, where can you get that?
You can get this
only at Westside Auto Pros. That's the only place. No.
Yeah, no one else handles this.
Yeah.
No, this is available at any parts store. I've seen it at convenience stores. Obviously, you'll pay a little bit more for it there. But as you can see, it treats. Ooh, I feel like Jason on the green screen.
Look at that.
I'm pointing right to it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, this will treat 100 gallons.
Wow.
And there's actually, there's a chart on the back that will tell you how many ounces to put in based off what kind of freeze protection you want. So if you want it good down to 0, you might put 8 ounces into 25 gallons. If you only want it good down to 10 degrees, you put less in, but there will be a chart on the back.
And it does have a gauge on the side of the bottle.
Absolutely, absolutely, just like your lawnmower oil. And so this is really what you should do. If you have a diesel vehicle, utilize this in the wintertime. And the reason for that is if your fuel system does freeze up, or if for some reason you're inclined to put #1 diesel fuel in, the technology that we've got now, these vehicles are using a high pressure pump, and it's pressurizing this fuel to between 20 and 30,000 psi before it goes in.
Seriously?
Seriously. And if that pump is starved for fuel or doesn't have adequate lubrication, which #1 is too thin, it doesn't lubricate the parts of that pump will fail. And we had one in last winter, and the guy, I mean, he was misinformed or uneducated. He was running, he put #1 diesel in a late model diesel truck, and he drove it 700 miles, or roughly 700 miles, and it ruined the high pressure pump.
No way.
And you're looking at $5,000 to $6,000
Holy cow.
to replace that pump. So it isn't worth taking a chance on. I mean, buy a bottle of 911, follow the chart on the back, and just be proactive on a diesel vehicle. Okay. It's very important, especially in Iowa.
Not a bad idea. And especially if you're leaving them parked, you maybe get to work early in the morning. You don't get back in until it gets dark again, too.
Exactly.
Sitting out all day.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so might be having it in a heated garage overnight, but during the day it's going to be real cold.
And especially we're going to have 0-degree temperatures this year.
No question.
We're going to have
Okay, so now that covers diesel and what you need to put in your diesel vehicle. And what do you need to put in your regular vehicle to make sure that it starts in these ultra cold weather situations?
Well, this is a product that's readily sold, and I'm not there's all kinds. I mean, it's sold under the brand name Heat and all other kinds. This is gasoline additive, gasoline antifreeze. It's an alcohol. This one's isopropyl based. And if you are going to use one, isopropyl based is the way to use, because that's the only one that's going to mix with gasoline. But your question was, what do you need to put?
What do you need to put in to make sure
put in your gasoline?
Doesn't gel up on you, so to speak?
Nothing.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah. Gasoline cars, gas lines don't freeze. Gasoline cars don't freeze up,
Or so what am I putting that in the gas for?
Well, there's the company that manufactures this. They've got a lot of employees. They've got a factory that they need to support. And
what you're saying is that especially if you use an ethanol blend in your vehicle,
correct,
it does the same thing that does.
Yeah, even non-ethanol gas. I can't remember ever. I've been in the auto repair business in the Des Moines area since 1981. And I can't remember ever seeing a vehicle that actually had a frozen gas line. And especially now in today's cars, I mean, the technology in gas, the technology in the fuel systems, I mean, it's all fuel injected. There's high pressure pumps and stuff. The only time you would probably use a product like this is if you did have moisture in your gas. And if you had enough moisture in the gas to affect how the car was operating, you'd have bigger problems than what a bottle would actually fix. So. It's my opinion. I'll probably get a bunch of emails from manufacturers and parts stores now, but it's my opinion that this is unnecessary. This is necessary for a diesel vehicle. A gasoline vehicle, like Jason said, you've never had a problem. No, just put gas in it and drive.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's, you're talking, I remember when I was going to Iowa State in the late 90s, it got down to 40 below once, and it started right up. So
exactly.
We didn't have heated garages when we were going to school at Iowa State. We had them parked outside. Right?
That's probably freshman year. He was parked at the stadium.
All right, so Ron, if anybody else has any other questions about this or anything else car related, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me. Ron at westsideautopros.com is my email. You can go to our website, westsideautopros.com, and click on tabs there to contact us, map us, call us, whatever.
Or ask Ron the Car Guy.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And I do have one other thing. I would like to throw out and wish a very happy birthday to a very special friend of mine, Terry Carlson. It's her birthday today.
Yay. Happy birthday, Terry. Get out and celebrate. Only cool people have birthdays this week.
That's right. Okay. That's right. On Election Day.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Ron. Awesome as always. It is 6:52. We'll be right back.